listen.
Just through. We're headed.
Help find Urumura.
Thank you so
Hey, get down on the ground.
Do anything? I can send anyone. Curse me, right, Ace? So it's you, huh? My favorite. Takes no pride in the life that he's. Want revenge? You can fight me for as long.
Oh no. Oh. Who's their leader? For judgment. Kenshin.
Happened us.
I need something. Squad 3.
What's all this? Over there!
Oh shit, oh my god.
Yes, sir. Close at hand. We are capable of any.
Thank you so much.
Confused.
Get in the way of him.
But if you've come all this...
Sounds like fun.
When you're in a fight...
Coming. Archie! Archie!
Finish. Ocean. No. So now you wait to me.
Kenshin.
Are you killing Kenshin or others like me? Though your soul...
You there.
Battosai.
Fight alone! Hello, Hidden Watcher's captain!
I'll handle this lot.
You play with me? The stage!
Now see, Mr.
What are you doing?
Probably strong enough to take on. I could get used to that. Do me the honor. We're trapped in the past, so they can...
You're here.
Sorry, Kaoru. That you should want to delve into this.
Shut up!
To you. Everyone with
That you helped build!
the punched. Do your wounds hurt?
Can only be atoned for. That is your only.
This has not been enough. One sword. You weakling.
Battosai!
I've thought about dying since. Even now, I don't know how. This moment. I'm afraid of... Desire to do right by your sister. But I'm sorry.
Son of a bitch.
I told you not to enter!
Did Miss Kaoru?
No. The...
Enishi.
Hey guys, today we're diving headfirst into the action-packed world of Rurouni Kenshin Final Chapter Part 1, The Final, a movie that absolutely refuses to let Kenshin enjoy a peaceful retirement. Seriously, the poor guy just wants to sip tea and live his best life, but the universe, or rather, his past, has other plans. We kick things off with a bang, literally, as a massive explosion rips through Tokyo's industrial district. You can almost feel the concussive force rattling your teeth. Buildings creak and groan, glass shatters, and this sudden, deafening roar tells us our hero's quiet days are officially over. It's an immediate immersion into chaos, a stark reminder that even a reformed assassin can't escape destiny. If you had a good time with this, a like and a subscribe is a free way to help me keep making more amidst the smoking ruins and the frantic screams of civilians. Kenshin, ever the reluctant hero, springs into action. His signature red attire is a flash against the darkening sky as he faces off against the first of many formidable foes, a rather unsettling individual named Gain. This guy isn't your average thug. He's got this creepy, segmented mechanical arm that extends with a wicked whir and throws explosives like it's a party trick. The metallic clang of Kenshin's reverse blade saga ba to meeting Gain's grappling hook rings out, a rapid-fire symphony of steel. Kenshin's movements are fluid, almost like a dance, but a deadly one. He's deflecting shrapnel, dodging explosions that erupt with a furious boom, and generally making short work of anyone who dares to get in his way. It's a good thing his sword doesn't cut, because honestly, Gain's fashion choices alone probably warrant some justice. Just when you think Kenshin might catch his breath, the chaos escalates. A train, seemingly minding its own business, becomes the next target. Bandits, armed to the teeth, storm the carriages, their harsh shouts echoing against the rhythmic clackety-clack of the tracks. Kenshin, with a remarkable leap and a whoosh of his coat, lands silently on the roof of the speeding locomotive. You can practically feel the wind whipping through your hair alongside him. Inside, the confined space makes for brutal, close-quarters combat. The crack of punches connecting, the grunt of effort, and the satisfying thud of bodies hitting the floor are all perfectly orchestrated. Kenshin moves like water, flowing past opponents, his saga bato a blur. He disarms, deflects, and disables with precision, ensuring the innocent passengers are safe from harm, even if it means putting himself in harm's way. Because that's just how he rolls, apparently. Who needs a tranquil life when you can be a human shield? The puppet master behind this string of attacks finally reveals himself, at least to us. We're introduced to the main ensemble of antagonists, a delightfully diverse group of folks who clearly missed the memo about peaceful times. There's the towering, brutish Inui, whose fists are probably registered as lethal weapons. Then we have the wiry, almost snake-like Otoa, whose gadgets and nimble movements make him a tricky opponent. And finally, the cunning and strategic Kyuzuba, who seems to favor poison and psychological warfare. Presiding over them all is a shadowy, intense figure with striking white hair, Enishi Yukishiro. His voice is a low, simmering growl as he outlines his grand, vengeful plan, a plan that involves making Kenshin's life significantly worse than it already is. The air in their hideout crackles with malicious intent, and you can practically smell the impending doom. Or maybe that's just the stale incense. Back at the dojo, the silence is heavy, punctuated only by the distant sounds of a city under siege. Kaoru, ever perceptive, notices the deep lines of worrying etched onto Kenshin's face. He carries the weight of his past like a physical burden, the memories of the manslayer resurfacing with every new attack. You can almost hear the gears turning in his head, battling guilt and the grim realization that his peaceful life was always a fragile illusion. Her gentle touch on his shoulder, the soft thud of comfort, is a stark contrast to the earlier cacophony of explosions. It's a poignant moment that grounds the story, reminding us of the human heart beneath the legendary swordsman. Kenshin, despite his incredible power, is just a guy trying to do right by the people he loves. Even if he consistently fails at vacation planning, the calm doesn't last. Because of course it doesn't, Enishi's forces, being rather impolite guests, decide to pay a house call to the Kamiya dojo, the splintering crack of the wooden gates as their forced open signals the end of any remaining peace. The dojo, usually a sanctuary of training and laughter, transforms into a battlefield. Kenshin, Kaoru, Yuhiko, and Sanosuke are thrown into a desperate defensive battle. The whoosh of swords, the heavy thud of blunt force, and the occasional yell of defiance fill the air. It's a maelstrom of motion, a testament to their combined strength against overwhelming odds. They fight not just for their lives, but for their home, for the ideals Kaoru holds dear. Honestly, you'd think these villains would learn that attacking the hero's house is just asking for a beatdown amidst the dojo's chaos. Sanosuke, never one to back down from a good fistfight, squares off against the formidable Inui. This isn't a graceful sword duel. This is a brutal, bone-jarring brawl. The crack of Inui's spiked gauntlets colliding with Sanosuke's forearms sounds like timber snapping. Each punch lands with a thwump of immense force, sending shockwaves through the very ground they stand on. Sanosuke, with his signature fighting spirit, grins through the pain, delivering his own thunderous blows, the air vibrating with the raw power of their exchange. You can almost feel the vibrations of their fists connecting. It's less a fight and more a contest of who can absorb the most punishment before collapsing, which, let's be honest, is peak Sanosuke entertainment. He clearly subscribes to the hit it till it breaks philosophy. Even young Yuhiko, usually busy perfecting his kendo forms, steps up to the plate. Facing off against the deceptively agile Otoa, Otoa is a master of hidden blades and nasty little gadgets that emerge with a sudden snick and a whoosh of air. Yuhiko, with his less than sharp practiced sword, expertly parries the rapid-fire assaults. The clink of metal on wood a testament to his burgeoning skill. He's no longer just a kid, but a determined fighter, channeling the spirit of the Kamiya Kashinryer. The intensity of his focus, the sweat beading on his brow, shows just how much he's grown. It's a real proud parent moment if your kid's extracurricular involved deflecting lethal projectiles. You go, Yuhiko. Show that guy the power of earnest effort. As the battle rages, a timely arrival provides some much-needed backup, with a dramatic swish of air and a soft thud on the tiled roof. Aoshi, the former Okashira of the Anawabanshig, makes his grand entrance, followed by the energetic Misao. Their acrobatic fighting styles are a stark contrast to the brawling earlier. Aoshi moves like a shadow, his kodachi a blur, each swish-clang of steel precise and deadly. Misao, with her smaller but no less effective weapons, darts and weaves, a whirlwind of motion, her shouts of encouragement cutting through the din, the whoosh of their rapid movements, and the satisfying thwack as they dispatch opponents fills the air. It's like the cavalry just showed up, only with cooler ninja moves and significantly less horses. The good guys are officially getting some serious upgrades. Finally, the moment we've been waiting for, Kenshin comes face to face with Enishi Yukishiro. The air crackles with an almost electric tension, a palpable hush falling over the surrounding chaos as their eyes lock. Enishi, his voice dripping with venom, reveals his identity and the crushing weight of his vendetta. His words cut deeper than any blade, slicing through Kenshin's carefully constructed piece. You can practically hear Kenshin's heart sink with the heavy thud of realization. Enishi's raw, unfiltered hatred is a chilling force, and the weight of Kenshin's past, the echoes of a distant scream and a clang of a fatal blow, is brought front and center. It's not just a fight. It's a reckoning, a dramatic crescendo that promises much more pain to come. This guy really knows how to hold a grudge, making Kenshin's ex-wife's brother look like a casual acquaintance. The scene shifts, pulling us back into the desolate, snow-covered past, to the origins of Kenshin's infamous cross-shaped scar. We see a younger, far more ruthless Kenshin, the legendary Battosai, drenched in the blood of his enemies. The swish of his blade is relentless, the thud of bodies hitting the frozen earth a grim rhythm. Then a softer, tragic figure emerges, Tomoe, Kenshin's first wife. Their brief, complicated love story unfolds against a backdrop of war and betrayal. We witness the tender moments, the soft whispers of affection, juxtaposed with the harsh realities of Kenshin's life as an assassin. The stark contrast makes the impending tragedy all the more heart-wrenching. It's a brutal reminder of the cost of violence, even when wielded for a cause he believed in. This is definitely not the romantic montage they'd play at a wedding. The flashback reaches its gut-wrenching climax. Kenshin, blinded by rage and injured, faces a final, desperate opponent. Just as his blade descends for a fatal swish, Tomoe, in an act of selfless love and tragic irony, steps between them. The sickening thud of the blade, not on his enemy, but into her, echoes with a horrifying finality. Her soft gasp as life drains from her is a sound that will haunt Kenshin forever. Her dying hand delivers the second, completing the cross-shaped scar on his face. The snowy landscape is stained crimson, and the deafening silence that follows the chaos is broken only by Kenshin's choked cry of anguish. And there, hidden in the shadows, a young Enishi witnesses the entire horrifying spectacle, his small sob barely audible, his world shattered in an instant. This is a moment that redefines trauma. Honestly, someone hand that kid a therapist and a blanket. Back in the present, the weight of that flashback settles heavily. Enishi, his face contorted with years of bottled-up grief and rage, explains the depths of his vendetta. His voice, now a chilling calm, details his agonizing plan to make Kenshin suffer a living hell, a pain far worse than death, just as he suffered after witnessing Tomoe's demise. The thump-thump of his own heart, pounding with vengeful purpose, is almost audible. He's not just angry. He's meticulously crafted his entire life around this singular, destructive goal. The air around him seems to thicken with the oppressive aura of his obsession. It's a chilling display of how trauma can warp a soul, transforming sorrow into a weapon. Seriously, this guy took holding a grudge to an Olympic sport level, haunted by the resurfacing memories and Enishi's cutting words. Kenshin fights with a desperate, almost reckless ferocity. The clang-clang of his saga bando against Enishi's unique sword style is sharper, more urgent. His movements, usually so controlled, carry a raw edge of desperation. He's battling not just Enishi, but also the echoes of his own past, the ghost of Tomoe whispering in his mind, causing a noticeable falter in his otherwise flawless technique. The whoosh of wine from a near miss, the heavy thud of his own impact. Each moment is a reminder of the stakes. He's trying to protect his current family from the consequences of his past, a burden that threatens to break him. It's like trying to fight a supervillain while simultaneously having an existential crisis. Not ideal for peak performance, the conflict then shifts to an even grander scale as Enishi unleashes a devastating, full-frontal assault on the Tokyo docks. Huge, menacing ships, bristling with weaponry, loom in the background, their cannons unleashing a barrage of boom boom boom. Explosions that tear through the port. The ground trembles with each impact, sending tremors through your very core. Wooden structures splinter and collapse with a resounding crash. And the air is thick with smoke and the acrid smell of gunpowder. It's a scene of utter, industrial-scale destruction designed to sow fear and chaos, not to mention impress upon Kenshin the sheer, terrifying scope of Enishi's power. Honestly, Enishi spared no expense on this little revenge party. Good for him for having such a strong vision. Amidst the urban warfare, Kenshin and Enishi engage in their first truly significant duel. Enishi's fighting style, the Waratsume, is a brutal, unpredictable blend of Chinese martial arts and powerful sword strokes, unlike anything Kenshin has ever faced. Each clang of their blades is heavy, forceful, as Enishi unleashes a flurry of attacks. His movements punctuated by sharp grunts and hisses, Kenshin, initially caught off guard, struggles to adapt. His own elegant heighten meets Tsurugirai meeting a wall of raw, vengeful power. The whoosh of their rapid movements, the almost audible swish of their cloaks, adds to the dramatic tension. This isn't just a physical battle. It's a clash of ideologies, a brutal conversation between past and present, trauma and atonement. And frankly, it looks exhausting. Then comes the gut punch, the moment that sends a collective gasp through everyone watching. In a moment of absolute psychological warfare, Enishi engineers a scenario where Kaoru appears to be fatally impaled by his blade right before Kenshin's horrified eyes. The sickening thwack of the impact, Kaoru's strangled cry, and the sight of her crumpled form landing with a soft thud are designed to mirror Tomoe's death with cruel precision. Kenshin's anguished roar of disbelief and despair is a raw, primal sound, echoing the pain of his past. The world seems to fall silent around him, the cacophony of battle fading into a deafening hush as he grapples with the unthinkable. It's a truly brutal, heartbreaking moment, proving Enishi is not just a fighter but a master manipulator of emotional pain. Kaoru's death shatters Kenshin completely. He retreats, not just physically, but mentally, into a desolate state of profound despair. We see him sitting alone, drenched by the relentless pat-pat-pat of the rain, staring blankly ahead, his eyes vacant. The vibrant spark that usually defines him is gone, replaced by an overwhelming emptiness. The world around him is a blurry, muted mess, much like his own internal landscape. He's a shell of his former self, consumed by guilt and grief, unable to function, unable to fight. It's a devastating parallel to his earlier despair after Tomoe's death, a cruel cycle of trauma repeating itself. The silence surrounding him now is not peaceful, but heavy and suffocating. It's a stark, almost surreal portrayal of mental anguish, a hero truly brought to his knees. Someone needs to remind him that plot twist is a thing. Just as Kenshin seems utterly lost to the abyss, a glimmer of hope, a faint spark in the darkness, emerges. Sanosuke, ever the practical one, examines the body of Kaoru and makes a startling discovery. With a dramatic rip, he pulls off a wig, revealing that the impaled figure is, in fact, a remarkably lifelike doll. A collective gasp from the others, quickly followed by a rush of relief. The sickening thwack of impact they heard was a clever deception. Enishi's genius for cruelty is matched only by his skill in doll making. Apparently, This revelation is a lifeline, a sudden rush of adrenaline and renewed determination for Kenshin's friends, reminding them that Kaoru might still be alive. It's a brilliant, if sadistic, twist that brings Kenshin back from the brink of total emotional collapse with renewed purpose. The group tracks Enishi to his ominous stronghold, the aptly named island of Meiji. It's a desolate, fog-shrouded place, its crumbling structures rising like spectral teeth from the churning crash of the waves. The island itself seems to exhale an eerie hush that promises danger around every corner. It's a ghost town, but a very much alive one, teeming with Enishi's loyal, fanatical followers. The air hangs heavy with an almost palpable tension, the distant shouts of guards hinting at the challenges ahead. It's the perfect villain lair, complete with creepy ambience and a general sense of foreboding. Someone really needs to invest in some better real estate. Now, with Kenshin's resolve rekindled and Kaoru's life on the line, the team gathers to strategize. The unexpected, yet welcome, addition of the stoic Sato, his cigarette smoke curling with a soft hiss into the air, brings a tactical edge. They pore over maps, their voices low and urgent, discussing infiltration points and enemy numbers. The clink of Sato's cigarette lighter, the quiet rustle of the map, and the occasional grunt of agreement from Sanasuke underscore the gravity of their mission. It's a classic assemble the team moment, filled with determined glances and the silent promise of brutal efficiency. They're not just going in guns blazing. They're going in with a plan, which is always a bonus when facing a supervillain and his private army. Under the cloak of night and a thick, swirling whoosh of fog, the team begins their infiltration. Each thud of a footstep is carefully placed, each whisper of command barely audible. They move like ghosts through the desolate landscape, avoiding patrolling guards, their figures appearing and disappearing with the shifting mists. The occasional snick of a silently dispatched sentry, the soft thump as they're expertly hidden, highlights their disciplined approach. It's a masterclass in stealth, a ballet of shadows and muffled sounds, building the tension with every passing moment. You can practically hold your breath along with them, hoping they don't trigger any alarm bells, literally and figuratively, of course. Nobody wants a noise complaint from Enishi. Once inside, stealth gives way to sheer, unadulterated combat. Kenshin, driven by the desperate need to save Kaoru, cuts a path through hordes of Enishi's fanatic followers. The clang 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 of steel is incessant, a relentless symphony of battle. His movements are a blur, each swish of his sakabato deflecting and disabling, a stark reminder of why he was once called the manslayer. The grunts of his opponents as they fall, the crash of breaking furniture, all fuel his determination. He's a one-man army, an unstoppable force, ignoring the pain and exhaustion, his focus solely on reaching Kaoru. This is Kenshin at his most dangerous and determined, a whirlwind of controlled chaos. Anyone want to take baits on how many bad guys he can take out before coffee? The moment arrives, Kenshin finally confronts Enishi in their true, final showdown. This isn't just a fight. It's a brutal, exhausting, emotionally charged war. The clang of their blades is heavier each crack of a block resounding with monumental effort. Enishi, fueled by years of festering hatred and a chilling delusion, unleashes everything he has, his Watatsumi style raw and desperate. Kenshin, fighting for a future free from his past, pushes past his physical and emotional limits. The whoosh of their rapid exchanges, the strained grunts of exertion, and the heavy thud of their landings create a visceral experience. The battlefield fades away, leaving only the two of them, locked in a dance of death and redemption. It's the kind of fight where you can literally feel the exhaustion radiate off the screen as the battle reaches its peak. Kenshin, with a final, desperate burst of understanding, manages to pierce through Enishi's carefully constructed delusion. The imagined presence of Tomoe, the soft whispers of her guidance, which have sustained Enishi's rage, crumble and shatter with a metaphorical crack. The physical thwack of Kenshin's final, non-lethal blow, coupled with his words of empathy, finally breaks the spell. Enishi's face contorts, not just from the impact, but from a profound gasp of confusion and overwhelming, undiluted grief. The rage that fueled him dissipates, leaving behind a raw, broken man. It's a devastating moment of truth, where the monster is revealed to be a tragically lost soul, still aching from a wound that never healed. Turns out even supervillains have feelings deep down. With Enishi finally defeated, the most important task remains: finding and rescuing the real Kaoru. The team quickly locates her, battered but alive. The collective sigh of relief from Kenshin and his friends is almost palpable. Kenshin rushes to her side, his usual stoicism replaced by overwhelming emotion. He gently cradles her, the soft rustle of her hair against his cheek, the quiet sobs of relief from both of them, a stark contrast to the earlier cacophony of battle. It's a deeply moving reunion, a silent promise of a future finally free from the ghosts of the past. The lingering thump-thump of their hearts beating together signifies that the peace Kenshin yearned for might actually be within reach. Because nothing says "I love you" like rescuing someone from a mad brother and his doll army. In the aftermath of the harrowing battle, a quiet calm settles over Tokyo once more. Enishi, his rage extinguished, is taken into custody, a figure of profound sorrow rather than menace. The hush that envelops the city is now truly peaceful, a gentle whoosh of wind replacing the sounds of destruction. Kenshin and Kaoru stand together, looking out at a new sunrise painting the sky with soft hues. The chatter of their friends, Yuhiko and Sanosuke, provides a comforting backdrop. Kenshin's journey through the depths of his past has brought him full circle, allowing him to finally embrace a future built on peace and love, rather than violence and regret. His promise to protect his loved ones now feels less like a burden and more like a cherished responsibility. They say facing your past is hard, but apparently it eventually leads to some very nice sunrises. And so, our epic recap of Rurouni Kenshin Final Chapter Part 1, the final draws to a close. Kenshin, the legendary swordsman, has faced his deepest fears and confronted the painful ghosts of his past. Through immense struggle and the unwavering support of his friends, he's found a way to heal, to truly live in the present, not just survive it. His journey reminds us that even the darkest scars can eventually fade, replaced by the warmth of genuine connection and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. It's a testament to resilience, the enduring power of love, and the idea that true strength lies not in the blades we wield, but in the peace we build.